Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to KritzKast. It is yet another Highlander match for you today, but it is the final one before we surge on to Season 15 of ETF2L Highlander. There are 5 teams confirmed to be playing in the next season, and 1 spot remains with 2 teams here tonight fighting over it. The winner will join the likes of Elephant, Lucrosa, and Failer Esports in the highest tier of European Highlander, while the team that loses will be having to play in the high tier for the next campaign. In one corner, we have Tourettes Frenchclub, formerly known as Tourettes Chess Club, who have been vastly experienced in the past. 2 Prem titles under their belt, UGC Platinum wins, as well as winning Deutschland back in 2015. But a lot of the familiar names have gone. We have some new faces, albeit with similar Highland experience. Facing them is another team with history in Europe. The Beasts from the East. It is, of course, WASP, with some of the best CIS players in TF2 combining to make a Highlander team that has contested pretty well for them, but not for the past few seasons. 2 reforms, 2 returns. Who will be the one returning to Prem next week? I am CeeJaey, and joining me is Wiethoofd on the camera, and my co-caster tonight is the one and only Zamparonie. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm really excited today for Chess versus WASP.
It's a good. I mean, this is probably like, I don't want to be disrespectful to anybody, the other teams, but this is probably what people expected once these two were knocked into the lower bracket. It's kind of like a big matchup, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely. It was like, nobody really thought that little team will beat WASP, or yeah, it's pretty, everybody knew basically who will face each other in the lower bracket final.
Yeah,
no surprise.
I mean, yourselves, you obviously play it for Open Squad.
Yeah.
You won the match you had to play. I'm sure V was going to be able to get the bracket up on the screen for us to take a look. There were 2 teams who were given the higher seed going into the qualifiers. The highest seed was Open Squad, and the second highest was actually WASP. So all they had to do was win 1 game, and they were qualified for Prem. There were 4 other teams who were considered, the next highest seeds, and they had to play in the first round. So we had a little team come up against On Her Majesty's Secret Service, and it was the MI6 team that ended up winning that. The other one was Failer Esports. Of course, you played for them last season, Zamparonie as engineer. Reached the Prem final, lost out to Strong Opinions, but because of the fact that the new roster has changed so much, ETF2 rules dictate that if you change more than 50% of your roster, you are no longer considered the same team and have to go through the qualifiers for Prem. In Highlander, that means if you change 5 players, you have to reapply, and Failer changed 7 out of the 9, so they've had to go through the qualifiers. They actually beat Chess Club, or should I say French Club, and they made it through to the upper bracket semi-finals, where Open Squad, you did your 1 game win that you needed, knocked out MI6. Failer Esports managed to take down WASP, to some people's surprise. So those 2 joined Budget Toucans, Lucrosa, and Elephant. So we had 5 teams in Prem, all waiting to see the results of tonight's games. Lower bracket, we saw some of the games yesterday. On Her Majesty's Secret Service weren't able to win another game. They lost out to French Club in our casted game yesterday. In the other game, we saw WASP. They ran out 2-0 winners against Little Team. So WASP, French Club playing in this game today. And, I mean, no disrespect to yourselves. I mean, you guys haven't played in Prem before. You were, a high team. Did well in high. You're always one of the high teams, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got the likes of Lucrosa, Budget Toucans, who've all done decently. They've all been kind of mid-prep teams in the last seasons. Do you think it's going to be a big surprise or a bit of a culture shock for some of the players in these teams? Because they are teams that have been, used to winning. Like Chess Club they won Prem back-to-back. Not many teams have done that. They were always considered one of the favourites going into winning. WASP as well, when they finally combined the WASP and the Unpoppable rosters, that people were considering them as this Russian-Ukrainian super team. Do you think these guys, if they go down to high, do you think that's going to be a bit of a morale killer for the season?
I'm not sure, like, I would say WASP wouldn't mind. I mean, of course, everybody prefers to play Prem over High, right? But I feel like WASP would rather less mind than actually ChessClub. I feel like if ChessClub wouldn't win today, I feel like they would, like, disband, like, the likes of SI7, was it that? Or MI6, MI7, I don't know. Not British.
I mean, I'm not sure if they're confirmed to be folding. I don't know, but I know some of their players.
They lost now 3 gamers already. This is not a great start when the season's about to.
Yeah, maybe some rebuilding. I mean, I know in the past when chess did fold after Season 9, Season 10, they wanted to come back as Ragnaroka, which was mostly the Scandinavian gamers from the Season 9 chess club, plus some others. They went through the qualifiers, and they got knocked out by Failer Esports, ironically enough. I mean, it seems Failer Esports are just kind of this bogey team for them in the qualifiers. And yeah, that caused them to kind of quit and never come back. And that was the last we ever saw of the likes of Scissors from the Highlander scene. And yeah, so just taking a look at the teams we've got here today. I'm going to take a look at WASP because technically they are our higher seed team. A lot of experienced name. We'll go through the players. On Scout, we're going to have Lightclaw. Soldier is going to be Dima, 3 times Soldier of the Season and MVP of the season as well. Multiple Prem winner with SCCK and last season with Strong Opinions. Pyro will be DQZ. He's played Soldier and Medic in Prem in Highlander. So switching over to Pyro, we've seen him play some games, maybe adapting to a new class. Demo is going to be D-Toad, who again, he's played Spy, NG, Demo, Pyro in Prem. Much of a multi-classer, but Demo he is very strong at. Heavy is the one and only Catman. Twice heavy this season during his time with Unpoppable. Engineer is going to be Clark, former leader of SCCK, but since they have folded, he's now joined his Eastern European brothers for this campaign. Sprayer, likewise, formerly of SCCK, is going to be on the Medic. Sniper is Morg, returning after some time away. Back in the scene, was one of the scariest snipers back in Season 7 and 8. And on Spy, we have Imba, who seems to still enjoy using that Ambassador, despite the Pyro, Jungle Inferno update, nerfing a little bit, still uses it. And Zamp, do you want to take me through the chess roster?
Sure. Normally it would be Olga on Scout. They have Nutters today for that. Wef Soldier from the French countries. Sinrise, the one and only on Pyro. On the moment they have Kalis, the Sixes player. Kresnik from America on Heavy. Deox, Engineer. The one and only Seeds on Medic. Kunu would normally play Sniper, but he's on a field trip apparently, so it will be joined today as Tracker. And Kazul is missing as well, so they have Demento. Yeah.
I mean, we talk about super subs. Nuthouse, Prem 6's Scout, not a bad person to kind of jump into your game. It'll be interesting to see how he adapts to sort of payload and other Highlander-oriented maps. Seeds is the new main. He's trialing for 7 and 6s, so clearly lots of promise there. Tracker, I mean, probably one of the greatest snipers of the past 5 or so seasons. Not a bad player to come in, did very, very well the other day against MI6, and Demento likewise. Kazul, so much experience from him, but Demento did very, very well here. So in the blue we do have WASP. They'll be attacking first on Badwater. Meanwhile we have Chess in the red. They'll be defending for as long as we can. We already see some suicides coming in from WASP, trying to get something done. They do force Seeds. Does not fancy holding on to that onto that Uber any longer for fear of dropping. Casualties on the side of WASP, they're not going to mind. They got that Uber force, which is what they wanted, and a big Uber advantage for Spray. Now this is WASP's map pick, so already starting a good start from the Russians.
Definitely. I mean, they already got the sentry out. Morg got now sadly sniped by Tracker. This will set him a bit back. Not that big. Will still be a pickle. They pop actually from tunnel and go in with T2 and DQZ from tunnel out. Do not really achieve here something. Morg and DQZ goes down here. Catman gets Wrath, Sinwise goes down to the Demo Man, and Catman and Square alone on the card.
I mean, this is, you can see KritzKast, he's caught out here, gets finished off there. Deox is still in, he's got a level 3, and it is being wrangled. He's trying to bring it out here, and actually Spray is fighting Nuthouse on the car. Actually, he's going to probably die here, he's dodging for his life. Is he going to survive? Oh my god, this guy's a madman. Deox is after him. He cannot survive and actually feeds the saw to Sprayer. Sprayer, 45 HP, still being protected by his teammates. Nuthouse can take down Wiethoofd, but Sprayer is untouched. Everyone talks about Sprayer staying alive, and there's always the memes about Sprayer in spawn, but come on, he was dodging for his life there against 2 players and survived and got a saw. He has a huge advantage here for pushing onto second. Looks like we have a bit of a pause going on, but I was just saying before I interrupted myself, Zamp, that some chess players just stayed far too in. If you don't have the correct positioning on the first point of a payload map, if you've been forced to, but you have to adapt. You have to be in a position where you think, either we deny this Uber 100%, our Pyro just pushes them down, we wrangle our sentry, nothing dies, or we're in a position to get out. And it just looked like chess weren't prepared for that. Seeds got taken out, as we are unpausing now. Deox was still in, trying to wrangle, and he got taken out there in the end. So it's not going to be a sentry, not going to be any sort of charge ready for third here. And if WASP decide to get aggressive, they could probably take third off the back of this.
Yeah, definitely. They ChessClub needs a huge pick here now by Tracker or Demento. They don't get that, they will have big problems. As I said, as Imba actually goes down to Tracker goes actually down to Imba, and they use into them.
This is really good. DQZ with the reflect takes down Raf. KritzKast is really weak as well. Deox gets an arrow just in the window to keep him alive. That could be crucial here. KritzKast and no, but Imba comes in from behind, gets the backstab. I'm not sure if that was a drop. Seeds was so close to Uber. I think he might have just got to 100% before that backstab came in. Just got the Uber. So that was just sort of a millisecond drop there. If he hadn't have got that, Chess could have actually re-pushed that. They had players and they would have had an Uber, a huge Uber advantage. Sprayer died, but you know, he's up already. It's going to be negligible. Demon's actually already on the top spawn, trying to pressure Tracker out. No sniper on the last hit, and Wasp were just flooding in.
This is horrible for ChessClub, losing third like that instantly. Third is after all the strongest hold, and this is just horrible for them. And Catman is like advancing there by himself. Interesting to see. Like, they're now gonna probably dry push off this. Sentry goes down here to Wiethoofd, and ChessClub is just hiding basically. Now they're probably getting swarmed.
Yeah, they're not in a good position. Sinrise and KritzKast very weak. Sees doing the best he can to try and keep him alive, but they're just surrounded by Wasp. I mean, Wasp in name, Wasp by nature. They're just swarming around them right now. But KritzKast picks up 2, and those are pretty important kills. But Dima comes in, takes down KritzKast, gets finished off there by Tracker with a headshot. Things may stabilize here for Chess. Seed stays alive, and it's pretty much equal Ubers between the 2 medics here. So it's all about seeing what Wasp are going to do with this, whether they decide to throw some bodies in and get a force, or whether just drive it. You see Deox here, he's died a lot so far. He's saying, screw it, I'm running mini sentries. I do not have time to get a level 3. And something I always like to say is it's bad news if your soldier is still running direct hit into last, which Dima was. He was just destroying the engine so much. Look at the frags coming in. Catman takes down Kalis. He trades for it, but that is a huge pick. 20-second respawn queue for Kalis. Rotation here from Wasp. They're taking the high ground, and Chess, they just don't know how to handle them.
Yeah, this rotation of Wasp is pretty good actually. Like, I wanted to say before you started saying something as well, now is the time for ChessClub to re-establish their last hold, get a level 3 in there, but Wasp just pressured on, even with instantly Uber and instantly let's go into them, let's not give them any point of, like, fresh air, you know? Like, instantly crush them.
No time to breathe, and that's, you know, the great Premiership best of us. Zamparonie, okay? Taught me everything I knew in Highlander. And he said the best way to get into Prem and win Prem is just to hold W. Just keep going in. And like you said, did not give them any time to sort of breathe, settle down. Chess there, just trying to stabilize themselves on last, just kind of think, okay, let's get a couple of minutes here. But Wasp were like, no, as soon as we get Uber, we're going to be into you. And we're going to destroy you. And that's what they did. And yeah, 4 minutes in testing. I've seen so many fast times so far this week. I mean, we saw one from Failure against Chess. So this isn't the first time Chess have been kind of rolled on a Badwater. So clearly Wasp picking this map for a reason. They did themselves get a very good time. I think about 3.5 minutes against Failure. But Wasp, I don't know, just feel really comfortable about this map. I mean, what do you think Chess need to do to kind of beat this time? Do they need to kind of pull any shenanigans out, or just try and play normally?
I feel like it was kind of bad luck there, not getting Sprayer on first and losing Deox to it, plus the sentry and everything. Just kind of like sent them straight away back.
Yeah, Kalis tried to go for a suicide there, just got denied by the stickies.
So probably if Sprayer would have died there and Deox wouldn't have lost his life to that maneuver, they would have probably had a way better time. This just collapsed into them. They couldn't set up after this misplay.
You see Imber here, he's actually just on the rock. He uncloaks just as KritzKast turns around there, so fortunately Imber, he's going to have told his team, hey, Seeds is out with his Uber up on cliff. And a couple of kills there from Dima, takes on Nuthouse and Deox. So there's going to be no cart pressure whatsoever. You look where the cart is, it's not even through the tunnel. Dima doing such a great job at denying that ground, and that's the most important thing, is the objective. If you don't get that objective pushed up, then you're not going to win. It doesn't matter how many frags you get. And they lost Sinrise as well, so kind of they aborted the push there. Lycor trying to pressure on the flank, but not going to get anything done. He did take down Tracker, so no sniping to worry about here. Uber comes in, Kayla's doing the best he can, but all he does is land a pipe on the dispenser. And memes aside, the dispenser is not going to be the pick that you want. So we're going to be on to the repush now, Zamp, and actually it's only 5 players left alive for WASP.
Yeah, now they kinda need to flood in here. I mean, DQZ's still up, so you probably don't wanna push cliffside. Now they drop down, and now it should actually work for them if they're gonna press the attack. WASP players already respawned and going through the teleporter, it's still up. So, yeah. Tracker positions himself left side-ish now. We can probably get his angle on the sentry, but D-Toad is just spamming him away.
It's interesting that the teleport is still up. I mean, we see spies these days on payload just kind of focusing the telly straight out of the block, and you can see why, because these respawns are coming in. Dementor hasn't gone for the telly, and it just means that WASP, despite nearly wiping there, losing so many players, I've got a full complement of players now, but an uber advantage here for Seeds. He's at 100%, they have used it, only 95 in the hands of Spray. He's going to have to build this really quickly. He does get the charge and uses it just in time. Clark, he's going to get juggled up here. But he's just wrangling, and Catman Slay takes on a couple of players there. 4 down for Chess now. Less than 2 minutes to go. They need to cap this in the next few seconds, or I mean, I could call it now, Zamp. I mean, it's pretty much impossible.
At this point it is, yeah. This first one goes to WASP. Yeah, like I said, if they wouldn't have died to Square basically in bunker, this would have probably, they had at least probably then what, 7 minutes to push? Instead of...
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, if you think, if Deox and, was it Nuthouse on the cart there?
Yeah.
If they'd taken down Sprayer, that would have been no medic, and WASP wouldn't have been able to push third with that huge advantage. But the fact is, Sprayer not only survived, but he also got a saw, so it just meant WASP was able to take down so much ground. Every time I look at the kill feed, Imber has killed Tracker. There's so much pressure on him. Raf does get a med kill there, so does look like Chess probably going to get this this first point, at least for morale's sake. It's going to have no bearing on the actual round itself. But it just seems that Imber's so much pressure onto Tracker, and it's not like Morg has been, standing out for me at the moment, but we know how good of a sniper he is, and if he's constantly in the advantage of not having to counter snipe, he just has that freedom to kill things as he pleases. But I think that teleporter, the lack of taking that teleporter down, I think that costs Chess big.
Yeah. I don't want to say that the hold wouldn't have worked when the telly was down, when they were like, what, 4 or 5 down? But, with the teleporter, the heavy would have walked, everybody would have walked, and there is after all a big sniper sideline, so there would be maybe potential to re-push off that. But yeah, at least they kept second now as well, even a bigger morale boost. But yeah, maybe they just warmed up. I mean, it's Saturday, who wants to scrim at Saturday 20?
That's true.
Kinda can agree on that. So maybe this was the warm-up round now for Chess Club, and now they're gonna...
just notice the team names. We got Chess, when they're not even Chess Club anymore. They're called Tourettes Frenchclub. They've named themselves Chess on the server, and then WASP have named themselves USSR. So, interesting there. But yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, the fact that level 3 teleporters, I mean, it's not just the fact this is a teleporter, it's a level 3 teleporter. It recharges so quickly that basically WASP were down a few key players. They were down 4 or 5 actual bodies, but in the time it took Chess to get themselves into position, ready to push, WASP had all of their players up and on that first point because of the proximity of the teleporter to where the action actually happens. So it makes you wonder, if that telly had gone down, those players wouldn't have been there. Like you said, they would have to have walked. You know, Tracker watching that sightline surely would have controlled them. And I mean, what else? Like, what was it really just kind of the mistake on first? What happened on last there for Chess? I mean, WASP just had to kind of exchange Ubers and just walk in.
Well, WASP, like you said, like swarmed them pretty hard. Like, I think from Spyro there was Lightclaw picking out Kalos. Then KresNik being like bombarded by the Demoman and the Soldier. Seeds without anyone to heal goes down there as well. Sinwise, I think, got sniped. So it was just like a constant barrage of people being shot and dying to it. So they just couldn't. To like set up, probably. They had mini sentries. It was probably the right call. But like, they just can't. They just couldn't follow up to the hard pressure of WASP, and they just gave up on this point. Then basically, like without players, they just pushed the card.
Yeah, it was good positioning by WASP. I mean, they took the high ground, and that's something that's can't be understated. It's just so much easier to fight on the high ground. If you don't have the right players, it's very difficult to attack your enemy from down beneath them. Just taking a look at the logs here, it's very hard to really decipher anything from logs when it's such a short round. It's only about 11 minutes long, and like we've been saying, it's more about the individual kind of situations that happened. You know, Spray surviving there, getting a saw, and just the pressure on Deox pushing into last. The teleporter being up, things like that. But top fragger of the game was Morg. Him and KresNik both getting 13 kills apiece, but slightly more damage for Morgan. He did die less times, and as you can see, you know, he died 4 times compared to Tracker's 9. And when we look at the sniper v sniper, like at the bottom of the logs, Morg got 3 sniper picks, Tracker got 2. So it's not as if, you know, Tracker was vastly outsniped there by Morg, but the difference was that Morg wasn't being pressured very much by anybody else, it seemed. It just seemed he was allowed to snipe for free, and Tracker, I just kept seeing Ember take him down. I mean, I don't know how many times it actually happened. Take a look at Ember's logs. He did take down the sniper 4 times, so nearly half of his deaths were in fact by the spy. Are there any stories jumping out at you on the logs there, Zamp?
Well, I find it interesting that KresNik is like the only player that really stands out on Chess, like kill-wise, obviously only. Like, being second, being like top killing on his team or Savvy is something to achieve, definitely. And yeah, I feel like KresNik did pretty decent, but like his team, I don't know, did he just like assist kill or like clean them up? But like this was actually pretty good to do. As Heavy, like being top killing there, being up with the enemy sniper. Like you can see that WASP is pretty much leading the kill boards there with Wiethoofd, Morg, Dima, and Lightclaw. Like this is, you can kind of see that they just had the pressure on and just get kills over and over again. So Chestnut can't proper setup.
Yeah, totally. I think we're just going to be switching servers because some of the players on one of the teams are saying that the pings aren't enjoyable for them. So we're trying to find a server that has suitable pings for both. The issue comes from the fact that there are 2 Americans on the chess club team. In KresNik and Demento. Meanwhile, we have people from Russia on the other side. And, you know, I don't know if you know maps, Zamp, but they're quite far apart from each other in terms of distance. So trying to find a server that suits everyone is going to be a little bit difficult.
Definitely. I mean, it's quite a distance, isn't it? I never were there, but I feel there is a bit of a difference.
So, I mean, despite, like, once we've decided on a server that everyone's going to be, I mean, no one's ever going to be fully happy with pings. Only way you're going to do that is by going to LAN. Less than 2 weeks, just over a week to go until Copenhagen Games, where there's going to be both 6v6 and Highlander casted by KritzKast. €3,000 prize pool for Highlander. That beats, I believe, the prize pool at the first Highlander LAN, Deutschland 2015. So it's going to be pretty interesting. Some big team names going. and we're just trying to decide where we're going to play here. I mean, this disturbance isn't going to do either team any good. I mean, maybe it gives Chess a little bit more time to discuss what went wrong. And I just need to reiterate, the other day when we saw WASP play Failer Esports, WASP played the first round on warm tick. They didn't drop a second. Okay, King of the Hill, they didn't drop a second. Failer couldn't even cap the point against them. But then they lost it 3-1. Then we went to Badwater. They rolled the first round. They rolled it 3.5 minutes. One of the fastest times I've seen on Badwater. And then they lost it 2-1. So WASP seem to have a strong start in games, and then other teams adapt and maybe kind of bite back. What did Chess need to do? What are they going to be talking about in Mumble right now, kind of to ensure they don't lose this map?
I mean, it's Gullywash now, and it's their pick. And they beat MI7 on it. Pretty convincing. And I feel like they're just gonna lay back now. It's their pick. It doesn't matter. We're not playing payload after that anyways. So I would say, like, when I would be in their team, I would normally say, like, forget Badwater now and focus on Gully now. You know what we talked about. We do that, and we do not that thing that kills us all the time.
Yeah.
Basically. And I feel like Badwater is now a closed chapter of this game today. So they just want to focus on Gully now and come down, zip on their bottle of water. Then they should be completely Gucci.
Yeah, I mean, it's something for them to work on and keep themselves in it. Of course, this is a best of three maps. There is a pick ban system. We can just go over the picks and the bans. It is posted on the match page. So Chess were the first to ban, and they banned Warm Tick. And WASP banned Product, so neither team really opting for the King of the Hill maps in this rotation. Then WASP picked Badwater, and Chess picked Gullywash, so we'll be definitely seeing 5CP moving on to the second round. Then Chess decided to ban Coal Plant, so still no King of the Hill, and Upward was taken out by WASP. So if we do go to a third server, we're going to be going to Steel. So there's a possibility of a best of three maps with 3 different map types coming into this. So it'll be interesting to see if it does go that far. Obviously, Chess going to be very comfortable on Gully, having beaten MI6 on it the other day. But I mean, the way I always approached games, Zamp, I mean, you've been in the playoffs before as well, in both UGC, I guess, and ETF2L. And the way I've always approached it is you look at it and you don't look at it as our map and their map. You look at it as every single map is our map. Like, every map we have to win. You don't want to look at it as like home and away as you do in sports. Just approach the map, make sure you're prepared for it, and try and win it. And I'm sure that's what Chess are going to be doing. They did do well on this map the other day. So they're going to be focused. But it's maybe this break's going to give them a little bit of time, because you know that kind of getting capped so quickly is a bit of a shell shock.
Yeah, definitely. But like at the end of the day, you know, you are playing all. You know what maps you play, and if you know you're like bad at one map or like not that great on one map, you wanna ban it. This is just simple. And like I feel like Chess saw, they was beat Failer and every other team on them like 3-1 or 3-0. Let's not pick that. I mean, Morg being a big count, Morg and Catman, one of the outstanding players in WASP. Why would we give them the advantage of Warm Tick, you know? Why do we want to give them that? Where is like the sniper not necessarily good at, you know? For example, like where do you wanna kind of what I normally when I try to pick maps? What is the strongest player, and how do I counter him a bit? If I know their team has like 2 really good players, I want to see on what maps are they performing bad or worse, you know? And like where are they good at? What do I want to ban first? What do I want to play with my team? How is my team at the moment performing in certain map? Can I like risk the choice of like them picking Warm Tick, or can I not? Is my team performing like Warm Tick decently at the moment?
Yeah, I mean that's what you have to do really. It's so tactical, and often a tie can be not won in the map picks, but definitely put yourselves on the front foot by picking the maps that are going to be best for you and not best for the enemy team. So we are on this new server now. We are readying up So this time around is going to be Chess in the blue attacking first with Wasp in the red. And then once Chess have managed to cap last, or we run out of time, then Wasp will be trying to beat that time. If they do, then they will take it 2-0 because they are 1 round to the good. This is a best of 3 on Badwater, so if Wasp win this round, we'll be moving on to Gullywash. But if Tourettes Frenchclub win it, then we'll have a decider round on Badwater. Plenty of payload, but we'll see how it goes. I'm going to be interesting to see how Chess approach this now, because obviously it's very difficult to approach a game if you know you've only got about 4 minutes to cap. You maybe make some decisions that are different from what you normally do. You know, you might just go, oh, okay, well, let's just go straight out. Let's not do suicide wave. Let's not, you know, do this, do that. They have all the time in the world right now. They have all the time on the server that it's going to allow. So I'm going to be interested to see what kind of plays they bring out. Is there anybody you're going to be specifically watching on this attack?
Well, I would say now, since they have time, they can bomb. So I would definitely watch Wef and how was the moment called? I'm sorry. Kalis, exactly. Since they have time for a bomb now, and Tracker killed out DQZ, so they could actually push Cliff if they wanted to. By that pick. Yeah,
that's a huge pick actually. Pyro is so good at denying that Cliff, and Tracker is so good at that as well. I have to say, he is playing against him. He does manage to get that angle and that early pick. We see the suicides coming in. Kalis and Raf, like you said, jumping in, but Sprayer doesn't use his Uber. He holds on, and no frags actually come out as Morg comes up and takes down Tracker. So winning the first sniper duel of this round. It actually starts popping off here. Takes down Deox as well. That's going to slow the cart pressure. And nothing really achieved by Chess so far. Getting the cart pushed a little bit, but they haven't managed to actually kill anybody or get the Uber force, which really, that's what you're aiming for.
Yeah, I mean, it's still time. They can still do one more bomb. Even if they're feeling suicidal, they can even do another one. And I feel like there will be another one coming out now, because they just have the time. But now they just want to get their people like in positioning. Like, you see Quesnik wanted to go top right side already, pushing in there a bit, so they get distracted while the bomb happens. And now you see they're bombing in, and they get actually forced. There's a huge pick here for Tourettes Frenchclub.
Yeah, it was really well played by Raf actually. He landed 2 rockets on Sprayer. It wasn't enough to kill him, but it was enough to make Sprayer scared that he was going to die to the stickies from Kalis. You cannot allow yourself to really hold on to Uber when there's a demo spraying stickies, just carpeting them over the floor. You know that all he needs to do is dead them when you are dead. So sensible pop there, but it does mean Seeds has 100% Uber. Nobody dead, as I say that, Lightcore dies, but it's only really a scout pick. So they're going to be facing a full contingent of players here from WASP, which includes a Pyro. DQ said it can do a lot of denying here. Sinrise dies though, sticky traps there. Uber is used onto Kalis, trying to get in. DQZ doing the best he can to push them away, dies. And lots of pressure down onto the sentry, but Clarky is up still wrangling it, as is Sprayer and Catman. And that is a pretty formidable defense, as they are just trying to battle it away here. KritzKast trying to snipe them from a distance with that Tomislav, but not really achieving much damage. Sentry finally goes down, as does Clark. Raf takes him down, and this may be the catalyst for Chess to start pushing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was risky to go Cliff with that one, since DQC was up, Sinwas just died to the sticky spam. There's actually Uber coming onto Dima on Seeds, and Seeds actually kills him with an, even though was this an air shot or was it a wall shot? Can't even tell. But yeah, like DQC was like ready to reflect him off the point, or like from to under, but there was no healing on him sadly, so he couldn't do it. Got juggled in and got killed by KritzKast, and just basically opened up for Frenchclub the first point.
I mean, it's the same as when Premtech kept changing their name. I kept calling them Premtech. They had about 20 different names while I was casting them. They're still Premtech, but yeah, Dima there pretty much saving. I mean, having played with Dima last season, he just says to you, I'm going in for a bomb, and then something happens. And getting the med pick onto Seeds there was huge. And it does mean Sprayer has Uber advantage. So they give up second. Second is one of those points where unless you have all of your players alive and Uber, it's kind of difficult to hold unless you get it down exactly right. Third, you can get so much time. This is the point to hold if you want to eke out so much more time on this map. And Sprayer at 95, just going to get his Uber now. See, it's just about 25% behind. Not a huge amount, but the fact that Sprayer has Uber is kind of the brick wall that you want to dislodge. that's the obstacle that Chess have right now, and they need to remove that before they're going to have any sort of space. Because if you focus the sentry, the Uber comes in and just denies you. Or if you try to focus the medic to get the force, the sentry comes in and just cleans you up. So it's really about getting the right players into the right positions at the right time. We've seen some great soldier play recently. It'll be interesting to see what Raph and Dima are going to do here. But Morg on a 7 kill streak now, Zamp, takes down Tracker. So there isn't going to be a sniper pick from him for a while.
Yeah, definitely. Morg is cooking here something up with his 8k now, I think. So 7, I'm sorry. Yeah, and I think like right now, what I would normally call this like try to do a bomb or like try to go forward, get some picks here, because this is not how you will get picks. Like not not earlier or later. Tracker goes down to Imba now again, so no sniper again. Imba goes down actually to Deox, but still no sniper. That was horrible for third. Normally,
yeah, I mean,
what?
Sorry, go on.
Thank you. Normally, what you should do right now is get Tracker with your combo into Boiler. And when you wanna give Tracker that juicy sideline on D-Toad and Light Claw right now, and get that demo man pick so you can enable to be a bit closer on the house, start spamming Catman, start launching at people.
Yeah, DQZ that gets a nice reflect. The rocket doesn't kill the deliverer of the rocket; it kills the spy. So Demento probably feeling a little bit aggrieved about that. But I totally agree. And I was just going to say that the fact that Imba's able to pistol down Tracker. And Dima takes him down this time. It just says to me that he's not being protected by his team. You really want to get them in here. Morg on an 8-kill streak takes down Nut. Has now a D2 takes down Seeds. That was a drop. Just random spam from that Iron Bomber. Ends up dropping the medic. So huge individual play there by D-Toad. And I was just going to say the fact that D-Toad is playing very solo on this far side. He doesn't have the heals because it looks like WASP are doing this hold that some teams started doing a few seasons ago, really passive underneath the house near the sentry, and just kind of waiting for teams to push into them and countering, giving him a lot of space. But it does mean your demo man is in the open, and he's very susceptible to getting bombed there or getting sniped. But Raph denied, Kalis also denied their Dima, just saying no, you're not getting up there. But yeah, I agree with what you said, Sam. They need to get Tracker into position and just use him as Imber backstabs him again. So not going to be another snipe for a while.
No, sadly not. Like, they're not having a sniper and they're sitting on a uber disadvantage. At this point, you normally just want to walk in, get any pick, and, like make a distraction for your spy, and then like hope and get the medic, hope to get the engineer, get a big pick. Or for example, right now, Morg would be a pretty good pick as well. So yeah, like it's
I mean,
just
with the Morg pick, that means you get more space to move up. And it does look like Chess wants to move up now anyway. Tracker's still alone in Boiler, not really being helped by his combo. You can see Imber going straight for him. But yeah, Chess getting some ground. Raph trying to take this balcony, trying to get Dima. Does dislodge him. D-Toad gets backstabbed as well. DQZ is down, so no demo, no pyro. And Kresnik, though, goes down to Morg. This is going to be really interesting. Sprayer has used his Uber much earlier than Seeds, so Chess could have the opportunity for some cleanup here, but that level 3 is still there looking over. Kalis goes down to Catman. There's lots of pressure on the cart, but Dima is there to kill Deox, does not allow the cap to go down. And despite Chess having so much ground and having the better Uber Zamp, they've not been able to capture this point.
Yeah, like you said, Tracker just got down again, and if they would have Tracker, just to like lock it up a bit more, you know? Like lock Catman maybe into the house so he can't push out of that, and like just spam the sentry out would have been like probably a better way of just like getting the point a bit more secure for your team. Seeds wouldn't have had to run out of there again if the Shinny would have been downed. Yeah, let's see. Now it's gonna be a dry push.
Dry pushes can work, but you do have that wrangled sentry to deal with, as well as a sniper just sitting up there. The fact that Dispenser is blocking the stairs makes it very difficult for a spy to get up there. We did see Demento do something with that earlier on, but because of this passive hold from Chess, as Catman takes down Seeds, he just guns him down with the Tomislav, and it's just a slaughter. I don't know why Chess was doing there. Decided to get really aggressive. Catman in this really strong position. I mean, if you were talking to Emilio, he'd say that's the Emilio position, because apparently everything in Highlander was, it's his idea. But yeah, I mean, having the heavy in that position is so strong. You have to get rid of him. You can't just walk up there when you've got a heavy with the Tomislav. He will kill you. So a bit of a rookie mistake there from the Chess players. They are massively behind in the Uber stakes now. Sprayer does have the 100%. but they are trying for this dry push again.
Dima goes down here. One hell of a pick. Catman as well. So this could be actually at least a dry push to force them here a bit. So they get a bit into a struggle here. Morg not even buffed right now.
Oh, Light Claw, he just drops in. I mean, the Uber's used by Wasp in the end, but the fact that Catman was up there, he got so much damage down onto the medic and the demo, obviously called it, and Light Claw just walked in and followed up on that. Couple of shots onto the medic, couple onto the demo, bam, done. And that's essentially what we call a free Uber for Wasp, because they use it and they still have an advantage. They no longer have to charge, but they are still going to be ahead in the Uber race. And Chess kind of having to pick themselves up off the floor and try again.
Yeah, I mean, you can do two things here. You can try to push the card with all forces, or you just like wait until you have Uber. But now they're just going into the same old position. And Seeds gets out this time, but like doesn't look good for Sinwas and Kalis.
I mean, nobody's getting pressure on Morg, and nobody's kind of understanding the fact that Catman on the balcony, you can't just walk in. You can't walk in. You need to get somebody up there, and often the way you do that is when you Uber in, you flash your soldier so that he can get up there, spam the soldier, spam the heavy, and just make sure they're out. Morg is on a 13 kill streak, takes down Sinrise, make that 14 as he takes down Tracker as well. So just need to calm down. I'm sure everything's getting a little bit erratic for them, but you need to compose themselves, heal Tracker, get him into a position and kill some things. A demo pick is huge. That gives them some space to walk in through the house. A sniper pick is even better. Even a heavy pick opens up that top left. So they really need to kind of organize what they're doing here, because at the moment they're just throwing bodies at the cart and it's not working.
Yeah, I mean, Sinwas takes down Dima with a nice reflect there, so this could be an opener from the flank side here for Tracker. And actually they are standing in Boiler with their team and Tracker, so this could actually be an opener. Catman is down actually by... This looks actually pretty good here for Frenchclub.
Yeah, big play from Kalis.
Seeds drops to Imba. This is horrible, but they still can push. Actually they don't, never mind. This
yeah,
is too
I mean,
much
Spray
down.
Still has 100% Uber and they're still at level 3. I mean, they did the right thing. They took down Catman, so there was no heavy up top, and they took down D-Totes. There was no sticky traps. Kalis did a wonderful job, but they needed somebody checking behind. Sinrise was dead. Needed somebody to check from behind, and Lightclaw's on a 5 kill streak. He's just cleaning up these weak players as they come forward. They're taking so much damage from the combo and from the sentry. But Raf's in position now. He manages to get onto Clark. He has taken down the engineer. That sentry should also go down. It does. That's going to give so much space now for Chess to walk up here. They aren't going to get shot by the sentry. Morg isn't in their position. He's still alive. No, Demento takes him down. So no sentry, no sniper. This is the opening that Chess have been waiting for.
Now the Uber in, but the Uber does achieve nothing but like getting back a bit into their positioning. But KritzKast pushing from under right now, Seeds and Deox, and everybody flooding in right now. Finally, this looks like the cap for the final cap here for Frenchclub, of course. Catman on top actually. Is he managing something? He gets picked taken out here by nothing.
You never know with Catman. Sometimes he just appears out of nowhere. And he'll pull off a bit of a play, but there is a sentry actually up there. Clark's killed 2 people. He's killed Nahhouse and Tracker, and there is a level 2 there. I'm not sure how he managed it. I mean, the teleporter's there. Kalis walks up, and with a bit of help from Sinrise. I mean, Dima took the teleporter.
It's a great pick, but they just Clark just did great picks there, but it's risky since he died now, and Frenchclub is pushing in.
They have no sentry and no demo to deal with.
He should be up in 1 or 2 seconds anyways, but okay, Kalis dies here, so more kind of saved the day here, but not really. He's sitting on a 100% Uber charge, so if Morg wouldn't have gotten that demo pick, there would be probably an Uber exchange without a sentry. This could be, well, I doubt it would go horrible for Wasp, but it would be not going in their favor.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see what Frenchclub decide they're going to do here. Morg getting a kill with his golden pan, and yeah, they decided to come in for the exchange here. Use early, managed to force a couple of players on the Wasp team, so there's a bit of flashing going on. Don't really get any picks, and not really any significant damage. And once again, Imba takes down Tracker. He is just on his case. Kalis goes down to Morg, so Morg just starting to get back into a position after dying, I think, for the first time there. earlier on. But yeah, it seems that Chess now are just going to go for the exchanges. It's worthwhile to just kind of get your sniper into a decent position, or just send in a couple of suicides, maybe a soldier, maybe a demo, just to get the force and actually have an advantage push from it. It does look like we have another pause here.
I don't know if you saw that, but Morg literally saved Sprayer like 10 right now, like really hard. Like Kalis had that sticky on Sprayer and he wanted to dead it, but Morg gave him the 150, and this was too late for dead ammo. How was this?
Wow.
Kalis.
Sometimes they don't get the credit they deserve for saving their medics, but yeah, Morg on
this
protection
time they
duty there. Yeah, this time they do. And we take a look there. Raph on 1 HP, not really ready to make a play at the moment. Kresnik is in the in shadow area, and I just like I said, I'm not sure what Chess Club are going to do here. 12 minutes and 18 seconds it's taken them to push the first 3 points. That is a long time. That's like nearly 4 times as much, or 3 times as much as it took WASP to push the entire map. But it's still winnable. You got to think every round is winnable. You never know. You get some big plays when you're on the defense, or you manage to kind of dig yourselves in on a certain point, whether it's first, second, or third, whatever. You may be able to buy some more time. So Chess really looking just to cap the point here and finish the map at least. But I don't think they're making good advantage. What's the word I'm looking for? Using to their advantage the players that they've got. I mean, I've not been seeing Raph or Kalis really just jump in for suicides here. I'm not seeing them just buffing Tracker and getting him into a position to just kind of to push. I mean, he's running the Razorback, so he can't actually be buffed, but you can get him into a position and just protect him so he's not spammed out. You can, buff somebody else so they're going to stand in front and tank the headshot instead. So yeah, I mean, Chess really need to kind of think of something else. As we are unpausing here, Raph does die with that 1 HP, but Zinrai's there, nice pick onto D-Toad, and Kalis takes down Clark, so the NG is down, his sentry is unprotected.
This should be now the push for them, like, and see dies again. Just really not in the favor for Chess Club, French Club, but they still could hold it off. Square is in, actually Square goes down here to Tracker. This could be actually the pick. They're completely wiped at this point, but there's no time to... Siege is already up. If he starts building Uber, they have an Uber advantage. So they could actually work something out here, and Ark just goes down again. Oh yeah, he does. This is not great here for WASP. They could actually right push this if they wanted to. If they get Morg now.
Yeah,
never mind.
Tracker getting taken down by Morg. I mean, like you said, a small Uber advantage here for Seeds. If Chess play off of this, and actually they do take down Morg, Demento there, using his trusty revolver, and some good kills coming in now for Chess Club. They are walking forward. Catman is the furthest forward, trying to run away. Catches Demento out. He did take down D-Toad. So some crucial kills there, but Spray's getting under so much pressure. He's so very weak. Finally goes down there to the rollers of Kalis. And there is just people all over the point trying to capture. Can't see the time because my HUD is bugged, Zamp. But
mine's as well.
15:13 we're being told is the final time, and that's a lot of time for WASP to play with.
Definitely, when you remember they had what, 4 minutes to cap that, 4 minutes and 10 seconds. So they have pretty much tripled the time now. So this is interesting to, let's see if they can pull it off. Or if like Chess Club gonna say, okay, we are not doing that, let's focus on our map right now. This is a horrible time for us, let's say. Like 15 minutes, this is a lot. We can't talk that nice.
Yeah, I mean, I think the attacking phase is over, so any sort of issues they had with that, they don't need to discuss right now.
Yeah.
They need to be focusing on the defense. They need to think, okay, let's get into positions. The round's not over. You never know. I mean, for all we know, Demento or Tracker could just go on a mad one, keep getting drops onto Sprayer. If that happens, then, they could hold on to third for, 5, 6, 7 minutes. If you do that on third and fourth and get a couple of minutes on first, you've won the game. So, it's all totally in the realms of possibility. I've seen longer times defended. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, it could just be a first hold. It could just be a hard hold, an Iron Man defense on the first point. But we'll see whether they can as the suicides come in. DQZ using that jetpack, but gets totally denied by the sentry. And Seeds goes down to a little bit of damage there, but doesn't use.
Morg goes then actually to Demento, so maybe they realized, okay, Morg is fucking us up a lot on third basically. Let's pay him a bit. Let's pay him a bit respect for that, and let's just focus him down. Because when you see the scoreboard, Morg and Square, and like the medic is not being counted in here. Just top scoring right now. So let's focus Morg. Let's kill him.
I mean, he's got 4 dominations.
Yeah.
That should be evidence enough, yeah. As it looks like Wasp decided to go for another wave of suicide, sending more players in. Morg does die to Demento. So, yeah, Chess sitting pretty at the moment. I mean, technically, they need to hold this for 3.5 minutes, and they actually win the rounds. So you never know what happens. But Imber deciding to take down that teleporter.
There's another bomb.
There aren't going to be fast respawns, and yeah, another bomb's in. They does look like they have time. Sentry is getting focused. DQZ very, very late on his suicide though. Run that jetpack, doesn't manage to get in, but Morg takes down Tracker. That's going to give a lot of space on the far side here to Wasp.
That was actually picking up Morg instantly, so this is the advantage again lost. Like they can push like their right side right now. This is obviously not good. Like with a sniper there, you normally always get this point for free almost, because their medic needs to hide basically. But now he's free to go. Morg died, so
yeah,
Morg
still has Uber.
Is on the way. So yeah, Wiethoofd goes down actually, plus Catman gets reflect killed here, so this is not the best outcome. Solo Pyro Uber. Christian gets saved in the last second here by Seeds. Great play by him. Yeah, this is a lot of cap time actually. But Tracker goes down to him as he came back to the front. And I think this is a given up point at this point.
Yeah, it's almost a war of attrition as Wasp are just keeping going and taking down a couple of players here. Deox is dead, so no sentry gun. Tracker's just respawning, but Kalis is also dead. Big jump in from Detoad, he's going in for the bomb! Takes down Sinrise and Nuthouse. Those are not huge picks, but they're 2 kills nonetheless. And that's going to be enough to cause Chess to back out from second here. Big bomb in from Demon now! Can he get Seeds? No, he's running the direct hit and he needs to land. As you'd expect, direct hits with that. Doesn't quite manage it, but Sprayer goes down to Raph. Raph saying, look, I'm running the regular rocket launcher here. And takes down the medic, so Seeds is going to have an Uber advantage. Uber advantage now, and Chess getting themselves set up on third. If they can get a decent hold here, Zamp, I mean, like we said, this is where they can buy some time. And what we've just got about 12 minutes and 20 seconds, so it's taken a few minutes for Wasp to get this done.
I mean, they have the perfect outcome of a third hold. They have Uber advantage. They have a sniper. Their sniper just killed Morg, so everybody can come in, get into position, and cross the sniper sideline without a problem. Now it's an under push by Wasp. Catman goes down to Tracker. Detoad pretty much alone there right now. Didn't really pick up the health kit there and goes down to a WAF. So yeah, this doesn't really look good for Wasp at the moment, at least not this push. But I mean, they have time. They have 9 minutes time for pushing that. This is, I think it's more time that Chess Frenchclub needed it. Needed to capture it. I mean, Morg really risky there, going under alone, but it works out in the end and kills Tracker. This is not the best outcome you wanna have. Sniper pick on third is quite huge.
Look at Demento, he comes in, gets a backstab. Takes down Sprayer, he was hiding for so long behind. Finally makes his move in Boiler as Wasp are trying to get some picks there, but they do manage to get some kills. Despite losing their medic, Seed still has 100% Uber, deciding to go for this passive trap, but they're not denying anything. They've used their Uber. Kalis gets taken down by Dima, who's coming from behind, who also takes down Deox. So no demo, no sentry, everything's been destroyed by that man from behind. DQZ comes in now, and he's going to get some pressure onto Nuthouse, trying to fight the best he can. Goes down to the detonator kill. Seeds survives and gets out there. Sprayer went down in all of that chaos. Not sure who he died to, but you can see how far the cart got pushed up. Chess just not blocking it. They're not deciding they were going to go in there, make a play. They didn't have their demo man forward. And yeah, now Chess have to play extremely passive. Otherwise that cap is going to go down for free.
I wouldn't say for free right now. I mean, they have respawns now. If they flood in now and work proper, like Rev does at the moment. Denying Catman, top left. They can push it out. Basically, they need Detoad now out of the way. And Demento is on that case already. And he kind of fails on that part. So they just basically need to take position again.
Look at Dima.
Yeah, Dima is
Look
abusing
at Dima, he's taking the top area.
Of course, he will abuse like High Ground. That's like a soldier's lifestyle in Highlander, I believe. Yeah, if KritzKast doesn't go up soonish top, like, they will probably lose it, but they pop anyways. Now they need to get now they need to get Sprayer, or this will be horrible for them to last. They sadly don't, and they lose Kalis in the procedure. Or in the process, I'm sorry.
It seems really weird that they would leave KritzKast on the cart and not have him up top, because it allowed Dima to just take high ground and spam people for free.
Yeah.
And then they get forced from it. So, you know, if you're using that Uber, look at Imba, he's just saying, okay, I'm just going to cap the cart. And the reason third point is so key is that the forward spawns are so much closer. They're pretty much next to the third point. A couple of 100 yards, that's it. And that's going to mean WASP start filling in. Seeds does have advantage, but he's only at 75. He doesn't quite have the charge yet. And we do see Kalis and KritzKast picking up some frags there, just trying to slow down the onslaught. But just over 9 minutes to go here, Zamparonie, and WASP, they can make mistake after mistake before they're under any pressure.
Yeah, I mean, last is sometimes for a lot of teams jinxed, and I don't think it's for WASP. So if they get one proper Uber push, or they get one time Seeds in a bad position, get him where he's in a bad position, they won. And Dima jumps in here and gets reflected, and Seeds actually dies to Morg from the window. So this is actually the pick what I just preferring to say. This was not a bad position. This was just bad luck and good positioning by WASP. So yeah, they need to hold aggressive now, basically, to get them to pop early, or else.
That's an old school strat, just going to the window, but Nuthouse with the drop. I mean, Morg getting a drop, but Nuthouse deciding, okay, I'm going to try and do the same, and does do it. Catman, they're picking up a few kills here, and WASP have their medic back up and in action. And they're just getting pressure on the car here, Zamp, and this is what they need to do. They haven't got anything else to do as their medic's kind of getting back to the front lines. They managed to pick up KritzKast. That's a 20-second respawn for him, and they've got so much cap time, and they're just controlling it. Even when there isn't anything in play, they're dry pushing, and this is really good to see. This is not what we saw them not do against Failure Esports the other day, just trying their best here to deny it. But the cart is pretty much down the hill now, very close, just under 8 minutes to go. There is a level 1 back in the Lenny spot. That's a really old school spot there from Deox. Imba manages to backstab him and take down the gun. That's why people don't really use that spot anymore. It's very easily accessible. In comes the Force. Seeds has to use his charge. Spray goes down though. He's too far forward and Kalis catches him out. And Catman and Clark also get cleaned up there. And a bit of a beef there from WASP.
Yeah, but Seeds actually walks into the stickies of Wiethoofd, and Wiethoofd managed to pick him out. So this was an Uber equal again. So yeah, we have like this pet situation. We have 7 minutes on the clock. Dix is punching his level 1 sentry. That is a level 3 soon. Swear already up, and Seeds is about to spawn, I believe. Sinuous takes down Dima, but Morg already like on tracks and hunting for the next kill. So yeah, like I don't know, like they have some. CeeJaey has such bad luck today. It's ridiculous. Like Nuthouse actually picks down Morg. A huge pick here for Nuthouse and Frenchclub definitely. What they need to do is keep that rotation going. Keep Morg down. Keep Wiethoofd down. Keep everything of the enemy team down. Don't let them push. Push them instead. Completely flip the tables and get control of map room actually.
Yeah, I mean, WASP seemed to be doing that pretty well earlier on when they were getting that free cap time, and that's really good. I mean, at the moment there's nobody there in map room. Tracker is on the spawn alone. Imba doesn't kill him, but he manages to force him into the spawn. He's just out of action, and now he looks around. He can't really do anything because he knows that spy's there. He has to kind of just check around, and he's just not in the game because he's just under so much pressure from Imba. And you can see map room here is just left totally unguarded, Zamp. I mean, no one's really going for it. A couple of people die on each team here. Some decent frags. Tracker eventually dies to Imba, and yeah, kind of like it's almost a stalemate as WASP aren't really trying anything different, and Chess not really pressured.
Yeah, I feel like Frenchclub warmed up now. They said, okay, we're gonna give them a good fight, and we're going to the third round. They just decided apparently, and now they just wanna fuck around with WASP, and they are doing it quite well. They're picking more. They're picking key players of the enemy team correctly. They're still not having a lot of okay, we have actually now in map room, so I didn't say anything. And there's actually a bomb coming in, and this is a force. What they need to do now? What they need to do now?
So good.
Yeah, Dima is a great player, and I see giving him that respect that he knows he's a good player, and he's rather popping than dropping here. What they need to do now is stay they need to force Spire early. They can't allow him to go on top basically. There's actually a Zap coming since Dirks is down, so no sentry as well, and they actually climb Spire up. This could be great. They're doing here the Beru tactic if they want to go on top again, but it seems like they just want to hide in there a bit.
Yeah, I mean, Tracker goes down, but not many big frags coming in here. It looks like Wasp just want to focus the cart. They're just keeping heals onto Catman and Clark on that cart, trying to get it as close as they can, and Chess aren't close enough to contest. KritzKast tries to peek and Imber takes him down. Seeds manages to take down the Spy, get the Uber, and trying to block the car here. He's got no players to Uber. He tries to flash Raph in, but he doesn't want to come out of map room, and Wasp are just swarming the car, and they're surely going to get this. The respawn's coming for Chess now. Dirks goes on there. He's able to block it for a couple of seconds, and then in the end it was about 4 minutes to go. Seeds trying his best there, but they were just too passive. They had the right idea to kind of back into Spiral, make sure you don't, get caught out by the Uber. Sprayer had to use very, very early on, but you can see instantaneously as soon as they used the Uber, their Sprayer was very, very weak. He used his Uber, they looked around and there was nothing there, because like you said earlier, they took down the sentry, they didn't have anything really to focus because they were all in Spiral. Instead of trying to chase into Spiral with a heavy, which hey, chasing with a heavy in an Uber is never a great idea, they just turned around, focused the cart, Sprayer left Catman on the cart by himself, Ubered a couple of other players to get into a decent position, so that when the Uber was over and Chess tried to repush, Wasp were ready for those players. Clark and Catman just on the cart, pushing it as close as they could, just to put the pressure, making Chess sweat. And the rest of the players like Dima and Detoad were just in positions to make sure it wasn't easy for Chess to come out and block. So really well played by Wasp there. Seeds almost clutching it, but if he had maybe a couple of players to support him, he could have done it. But the first map, Wasp's choice, Badwater, is going to go to them 2-0, and they're going to be feeling happy with that, right?
Yeah, definitely. If you win the first map, you always feel comfortable. Like, I can say this out of experience, but like, here's the thing, right? I feel like if KritzKast wouldn't have died to him, but they're on last, I mean, this was just unfortunate, But like, I feel like if KritzKast would have gotten the Uber there, I feel like we would be still on Badwater right now. But yeah, I mean, shit happens. I already said that Chessclub is really unlucky today in terms of getting killed. Let's see if they can redeem themselves from Gullywash.
I think Wasp deserve a little bit of luck though.
Definitely.
I mean, they were very unlucky against Failure Esports on I think it was Wednesday, where they played Badwater, and the second round, they were 1-0 up on Badwater. That second round, they actually pushed the cart into the pit as the losing screen appeared. Less than half a second they had as the cart rolled in. Literally, the cart was falling in as the time ticked down to 0. So, I mean, very unfortunate there. They ended up losing it, getting knocked down into the lower bracket, but they bounced back here with a pretty strong round. And obviously, that round was much longer than the first round that we saw on Badwater. So we're going to take a look at the logs. And we've, of course, got Morg, who absolutely pounded that game. Just on third, I think he was up to about 14 or 15 kill streak. He went 32 for 13 in the end, getting over 10k damage. Both demos, though, doing well with over 11k. And also Raph getting, over 10k himself. So lots of damage from those players. Like Claw, as a scout, getting 26 kills. And I just think that was on the defense. On third, when there was a lot of damage coming from the likes of Detoad, from Catman, it was being called, and Lightcall was just aggressive at the right times. It's not as if he was feeding either. He died 20 times, which was, more than most players, but he was getting the kills with it, and he got a couple of med picks there, which are really important. But yeah, I mean, anyone else standing out for you there, Zamparonie?
Standing out there for me? Not really. I mean, the explosive classes, both of their teams did pretty well with the bombs. Lightclaw, you already mentioned Morg. All of them did pretty much a good job. I don't see any problem there, if you ask me. I mean, the medic deaths are pretty much equal, 7 to 9, this is 2, this is nothing, basically. Mento with 18 frags, Imba, it's pretty, how would you say, it's mirrored a bit. When one class got more kills, the other class got a bit more for them, it's pretty equal. And you saw it on the last one that it is actually equal. It was, I feel like if Chessclub would have played the first one proper, or how they played on the next one on defense, they would have gotten. We would be now in the deciding map, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that I've just spotted, actually, talking about Morg, can't talk about one sniper without looking at the other. Tracker actually only getting 10 kills. Actually, bottom damaging next to Deox there. Deox got 151, but Tracker with 172. Not like him at all to get totally shut down like that.
Definitely.
I mean, he was running Razorback, so he managed to get 1 sniper kill compared to Morg's 9. And I suppose, I mean, it goes without saying, if you're getting buffed and can tank a quickscope compared to not getting a buff and dying to one shot of a sniper, of course it's going to be easier for the opposing sniper. But I just feel he wasn't well protected by his team at any point during the game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this was the big problem they had on third. We could all see it. Imbot killed him on third probably, 5 times. So if they would have played proper with Tracker, I feel like
it could have been different.
It could have been definitely different. But now we got on Gullywash. The chapter is closed now. It is, after all, the first point for WASP. So they need to step it up now in Gully, because I feel like Frenchclub is ready to play with all their Sixers players some Gullywash.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like you said, Sixers players is what people always refer to when we see 5CP and Highlander. It's all about having those classes like Scout and Soldier and Demoman really peaking at the map that they play the most often in Sixes. So that's probably why Chess have gone for this pick. Gullywash was their map choice. They did well on it the other day against MI6. They have got players like Raph and Nuthouse and Kalis who are very, very good in Sixes. Seed's obviously trialing with a 7 as well. So lots of experience at a high level of Sixes here. But we are live here on the second map. If WASP win this map, they will be going through and taking that final spot in the Premiership division. Tourettes Frenchclub desperate to get a chance of taking this to a best of 3. WASP in the blue actually have the first casualty. Tracker deciding it's time to get into the game. Frenchclub in the red, trying to contest head to head here. Actually getting really, really aggressive. Catman went down to Demento there. And in the end, it does look like WASP are hightailing it out of there onto second here, Zamparonie.
Definitely.
And Chess quite convincing on that mid fight.
Yeah, I mean, you can see both snipers already having 1 frag. I think both snipers picked their scout. So, I think Lightcrow died to Tracker, and instantly after Nuthouse died to Morg. There we go. So yeah, but you could see like the Chess Club had way more plan what they wanted to do there. They pushed through right side. They wanted to do that. Nuthouse instantly on the point, getting this instant cap there, so they just can't stand with them on the point. Gavin goes down to the mentor, so this should be an opener there. If they pick out Morg now, this would be the perfect last push for them, basically.
Yeah, I'm a bit concerned D-Toad is on his own. Kind of on second. He's going to get caught out if he's not careful. Decides to back off into lobby, but he was very aggressive.
It's a pop, actually.
Yeah, it's a pop. Don't think it was a force either. This is a voluntary Uber by WASP here, trying to block the point. Morg takes down Tracker, but WASP have got the have to get out of there. Seeds goes down to D-Toad though.
But it works.
So yeah, I mean it blocks the point, and it looks like Lightclaw's going to try to recap this, and somehow, what?
I feel like they didn't want to risk an Uber exchange on last, since like people would have focused on the Uber exchange instead of the point. So they rather focus on like they having the high ground from balcony, and just push into them with Wrath, like getting them distracted. Like why would they pop now? Like they just
bamboozle us basically. Popped to block.
Yeah.
And Chess had a much better Uber, and then they end up nearly wiping and giving up basically the midpoint as well. So advantage for Spray now. He's up to 70%.
This was 400 IQ play right there.
Yeah, big brain plays, and Chess are going to be lucky if they manage to hold on to this point. See, Dima is trying to get out of a bad situation here, but Conch is used, trying to buy some time for Frenchclub. Kalis goes down to Clark, the pistol, no less. Dima goes for the bomb now, gets some damage onto a cone, but not onto Kresnik. And Kresnik realizes, okay, I'm not going to win this fight any longer. Deox is fighting Lightclaw. It is
Nuthouse in actually.
Yeah, I mean, WASP making a meal out of this actually. They used their Uber and it's not really achieved much.
Now they're gonna push actually into them, and Morg probably actually survives against Nuthouse. Demento goes down to Catman. Catman and Dima pretty alone there. This could actually be a re-push there. They are not in position. They're in big door for WASP actually. If they are And I think like we're gonna see them walk into them. More goes down to Tracker, so this should be the opener regardless. And there is WASP backing out and giving up mid, it seems. Wiethoofd getting outgamed here by Deox. Outbrained. And there's actually again a pop on Tima.
Big bomb from Tima, he's floating in the air! Oh my
Completely
God.
denied by KritzKast. So this is an actually repush here by CeeJaey, and this is an easy task for them. This is the cleanup crew right there, and Square is locked in banana.
Yeah, he's trying to fight Demento in choke here.
He gets
one saw. Is he going to get another one? No, he gets taken down, sniped by KritzKast. And yeah, I mean, pretty comfortable. I mean, no, comfortable is not the word at all. It just seems a bit chaotic at the moment.
Yeah.
And Chess seem to be the guys with the better control, but they're making more mistakes as Morgs takes down Tracker. Their big bomb from Dima. The first rocket actually missed. He actually thought Seeds was in a different position, so that first rocket he shot just into the floor. So still going to be a huge Uber advantage for Seeds here. CretzKast should be able to just walk in now and you know, get something done. Light Claws in River, just kind of peeking around, scoping out, scouting if you will, to see what happens and where people are coming from. Comes in from behind, is actually going to clean up a couple of plays. Clark picks up 2 as well, takes up the 2 Ks. Kriznik and Kalis, and he essentially takes down Sinrise. So that's 4 down, 5 down as Imber takes down Seeds. And that was disastrous, Zamparonie.
Yeah, this was all played by Light Claw and Imber.
Spike up.
Is this a back cap? Oh god.
He was the only player alive for chess. Raf just died, and Demento was just capping by himself. I mean, who needs one of each class when you just need one class, one player on the last point?
That's a yikes.
And that is a yikes in chat. We'll see what happens now as we enter a second mid-fight of this game. Chess now 1-0 to the good. Exactly the recipe that they needed. Big one from Demon. That's 1 rocket onto Seeds. He's so weak. Might be a bit apprehensive to get into this mid-fight now, as he has taken so much damage. DQZ and Dito are going to rush into KritzKast now. And Seeds only has Tracker for company. Very, very aggressive here.
Dukes picks Dito.
Oh my word.
Yeah, this was pretty well played by DQZ, and like the rest of us, DQZ just jumped in and while Frenchclub turned around to kill him, WASP just advanced into them. Like you could see, they already locked choke point, everything down. There was no way they could get that back. Yeah, right call by Frenchclub, go back, we hold second instead.
I mean, Deox is a very talented player. Back in the day, he was a spy main. Very good spy main, Prem level spy main, and then he started playing a lot of scouting 6s, got very, very good. Played scout at LAN for CretzKast with yours truly, and then when he came back for season 9 of ETF2L, they asked him if he would play NG, and I don't know, is he an NG main in Highlander now? He does very well on it, he does that DM, and like I say, team play is so important in both game modes. But if you have individuals peaking and getting right picks at the right times, it's so important, and that's really stopped WASP from taking second for free here. They've lost Catman now, but Tracker is dead. That's going to be a huge sniper advantage for Morg if he decides to use it. He uses it to take down a sentry, and you take a look where they are. They're in big door. They have so much space. Morg trying to get the hero shot. Doesn't quite manage to do it. Kalis actually gets forced here.
Demento
is using sprayer drops to Demento!
With the heavy disguise.
Oh my word.
He just walked past Morg and just with the heavy disguise gets into Sprayer. Oh, this was amazing. But Catman ready to slay here. He's not being, now he's being called out and gets taken down by Natas and Deox. And Dima is ready to bomb in here and get some damage. But gets cleaned up once again by Deox. And this is another mid for CretzKast, and it's just a back and forth. Like,
I mean, people talk about stalemates in Highlander, I mean, and in 5CP. Hey, I mean, this hasn't been stalemated, this has been back and forth, for better or for worse. But Seeds with the Uber advantage now, 75% in the bank. Sprayer only at 30%. You can see how passive WASP are playing. They don't want to get caught out here. Relying on Morg maybe to get some sort of big pick, and he does take out Sinrise. That's what he needs to do. And Chess starting to walk in now, they're getting spammed. Dima goes for the bomb, goes for Tracker as Seeds is too far away. Actually does get him the Wrangler from Deox. Takes down that bombing soldier though, but Chess have had to fight for this point. Seeds goes down to quite weak HP. backing off Ruchoke here, doesn't want to be here, and they've actually blocked his amp. It looks like KritzKast and Deox are the only ones here.
KritzKast goes down right now. Seeds and Nuthouse are like farming the damage numbers here a bit, and now they wanna go back. They lost everyone in a second. And I think Spray is on 100 Uber, and there we go, there's the pop again for the mid fight. They just go out again. Wiethoofd jumping in deep here, Catman goes down to the Mentor, but like, this is just the back and forth for mid fight, for the mid.
And we're back to where we were earlier in the round. Seeds does still have an Uber advantage though. 50% for him, about a 30% ad, so if Chess decide to push this on the dot, they may be able to catch out some WASP players. WASP are being a little bit more careful about that. They are playing quite far back. Spray is very experienced, he knows. And Morg is getting ready for the sniper. You can see the sniper dot of Tracker on the wall, and Morg just waiting for the opportunity to go for the counter snipe. But this is where this is where teams want to get their sniper into a decent position, which is what happened before. You know, WASP were trying to get Morg into big door, make some space. They did get that early force, but the drop from Sprayer meant that it all just went a bit wrong for them there. And Sprayer doesn't have his Uber yet, 70%. Seeds does have the charge, but Chess don't really look like they're mobilizing for anything. They lose track at 2 Morg, so probably just going to put a halt onto that and wait for a bigger pick.
You can see that Wasp is trying to get there, here and there, like a force, a pick, something they want. While Chess2 is basically saying, you know, we have 1 point, they're coming to us, we are not to them. And it's totally the right move they want to do right now. I mean, it's a bit too early to park the bus, but yeah.
I mean, if it's possible to do, it's possible to do. The Uber has to be used here. It is difficult, like you said, and we can see the counter Uber from Chess here trying to catch out Wiethoofd, but what it really does is push him into a corner, and because of that passive hold, they've lost 3 players. So
Kale actually picks down Morg and Inver with great pipes here. We're just back at it again with like Chess is holding second and Wasp is trying to come in. And actually Catman goes down.
Yeah, Sinrise takes down Wiethoofd, and
this is again another mid-front Frenchclub.
It's just mistakes. I mean, teams are going for these plays, and when it's not working out, they're losing a point, and it's a very risky and kind of high-placed way to play Gully, but it's refreshing to see as teams aren't afraid to make these mistakes.
Inver almost getting seats there. You could see like Natos even chasing to second until he gets Morg. He knows Morg is annoying for his team, so let's get him. Is it actually second for what? Is it actually second for Frenchclub? I swear.
Yeah. It looks they're already in lobby. They're capping, but they're already in lobby. DQZ has actually spotted them now.
But Kailis gets dropped.
Oh, Kailis dropped. Gets taken down by Lightclaw, and Spray's just got his Uber now. So that Uber force pretty important, and Wasp can choose to push out here. Remember what happened last time when they tried to push out? Just 1 player was all it took to cap the final point. They don't want that to happen again, so they have to be a little bit more careful, but they don't really want to sit onto last hit because that's just going to play into Chess's hands.
I think they will not try to drive push this, and as you can see they're just advancing through River. KritzKast gets taken down here probably. There's the force actually, so this is actually great for Chess. And this is backhand! Almost! Dima with the save there. Lightclaw and Wiethoofd gets taken down, so this shouldn't be the second for Wasp, but DQZ with the movement skills, it gets actually taken down sadly. And Demento already on last and just waiting that Catman makes a mistake. But he doesn't.
Dima is just a player that can make plays like that, and he stopped it from becoming 2-0. He's already on mid now, fighting Raph, takes down a teleporter. He's just causing havoc from behind, and it's taking them 2 players to chase him. He actually takes down Deox, and he takes down Raph as well. Picks up the health back. I mean, he finally gets taken down by Tracker there, but he's causing so many problems. It's giving time for Wasp to get a defense up on last, build up that Uber, and actually have a charge to defend. Not sure if Chess are going to decide to push here. It looks like Tracker's getting in position to get something done, and KritzKast is really far forward. You see this Uber is actually on the last point sprayer, only at 75%. He's not going to get the charge in time.
Nuthouse alone on the point.
He gets cleaned up there. Yeah, they tried to get a Trying to get players on the point and just kind of air blast them off with Sinrise, who's coming in now. Dima's there. Can he get anything done? No, he's going to get destroyed. Sinrise and Deox combine. Two unlikely partners in crime.
Seeds on a rampage there, so we can see why ChessClub always got the upper hand here.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be dying right now.
No, this is perfect for chess. This is exactly what chess wants. A medic that never dies. This is the perfect medic.
I mean, just over half the game to go now. WASP haven't looked totally out of this, but if Chess decide to play a little bit more passively, they can slow it right down and make it very difficult for them. Once again, looks like Chess are going for this Valley push. Just playing on the ground, getting aggressive. They've been too slow though. Look at WASP, they already have control of their side, and they're able to spam down for free.
Now they're going banana actually. And like only the spice being exchanged here right now, and Natos actually having time on the cap point, so they just can't cap it off. And Sinrise as well, they're just trading off each other on the point, and Capman actually goes down, Sinrise as well. This is not being... Okay, this is actually...
Seeds gets domed by Morg, and then he gets another one with Kresnik. And that's 5 down here. Big bomb from Raf, but he can't take down Sprayer, so that's going to be an Uber advantage now for WASP. They haven't had a better opportunity so far in this game to actually get around on the board. There's going to be no resistance from Tourettes Frenchclub on the second point here. They're getting ready on last to get some sort of defense. You take a look at Clark. Clark's already in water. He's actually been spotted by Kresnik and Kalis now. Oh, maybe he was going to go for a bit of a distraction play onto the point there. Just means there's going to be one less player for this push. Interesting to see where he's going from. They're going in from water. They use early. Trying to get their players in, getting aggressive onto this top right. Seeds not under any pressure though. Trying to go for the point now. WASP actually picking up a few frags. Tracker goes down to Morg. Dima jumps in, takes down Kalis on the point, takes down Sinrise as well. He's getting so much damage, there's only Seeds left. And in the end...
Dima against the world, and Dima wins.
Dima against the world. Dima Abramov, I mean, he's just... That wasn't the push that won the game for WASP, it was the repush. It wasn't just Dima. Dima obviously making a huge opening, so much distraction, kills, but everyone else came in again. Often teams think, oh, I'm going to push in with the Uber, and then, oh no, the Uber didn't win us the round, let's back off and wait and lobby. No, get back in there, clean up on that damage you've done. We're on to our fourth mid-fight now, 2-1 to ChessClub, and they're much faster this time. Tito goes down to Kalis, Dima goes down, Lycor gets taken out by Deox. And this is really aggressive. Great play here. Heavy versus heavy. Kresnik wins that one just. Deox getting aggressive still. He's going to chase down Sprayer. And actually gets a 4K, finishing off the medic. He's going to have some pretty meaty logs. Demento with the body block. And Deox just being like, thank you very much. Another one for my shotgun. And that is a wipe for WASP. They're going to have to sit on last. And pretty much a mirror image of what happened... to Frenchclub the round before.
Yeah. I mean, now we have to see how they're gonna push that in. It's still not capped, but like they had like one convincing push right now. But yeah, we need to. It's quick fix on a square actually. So
interesting choice. I mean, it does mean that he may be able to get a charge.
Yeah, and Imber on Wef here, and on almost Imber.
Yeah, actually, the Uber's used here, and it's just being denied by DQZ. Just pushing away every sticky. 2 kills come in for Waspa. Make that 4.
Kresnik under the point, actually.
And, yeah, Kresnik could go for a late push here. Demon's spotted him, but he can't really fight him that well. He doesn't have the HP. Goes down to Morg. That P helped. But Tracker there takes down Lightclaw as he was trying to get some cap time on the second point. And Frenchclub may be able to hold on to this. They have a 20% Uberad, but like you said, it is the quick fix. Whether they're going to stick on that or it was just kind of a desperation play on last. Demento, they're almost getting a stab, but in the end just slips in and out of a couple of players. But yeah, I mean, Chess so much faster on that previous mid-fight, so much more aggressive in their transition onto the next points. And that's what allowed them to get all the way here. But wow, losing a couple of players. Dima takes down Kalis and Tracker. Deox has gone down. The quick fix used in Big Door. It's not going to catch out the medic, so Sees is going to have an Uber charge. And there's actually a backup going on. But Demento gets taken down by Clark. He's not going to get fooled twice. He's got Raf as well, trying to pressure him out. But second cap will go down. And WASP now need to be careful. They're still on the quick fix. No charge against ChessClub with a full Uber advantage.
Yeah, it is. It's a bit early, but I feel like this will still do a lot. Wef is still behind them actually, and he walks into them. He actually takes out Square! Wiethoofd die as well. Catman up there and killing where he had enough of this.
Catman getting revenge for his fallen brothers, but that soldier was behind a long time. I mean, like I see, was fighting Clark when that second cap was going down. He's trying to go for a back cap with Demento, so surely he would have been called. Sprayer respawning. He's still on the quick fix, so deciding again, hey, I want to charge for last. I want to be able to do something about it. Lyclaw just getting aggressive and taking down Tracker, and that just seems to be the motto of the day for WASP. Make sure Tracker doesn't have time. ChessClub should have pretty much a free Uber here, pushing into last. Spray's not even going to have a quick fix ready. He hasn't been building very fast.
Need to be quick after all.
Yeah.
More cold probably now that they're in river. And there should be... This is a pause?
Yeah, it does look like a pause to me.
It's a pause.
So,
there we are again.
just teasing us,
And there's the pop actually. Wiethoofd goes down to Tracker actually. Immer goes down here and Sprayer goes down. So they should stay in here. They have a lot of Natos in.
Yeah.
Actually, Catman alone on the Catman and DQZ against the world. Deox actually takes down Catman plus DQZ, and it's the cap from Demento and Deox.
Deox 15 points that round, only one behind his medic. So, be interesting to see how well he performed when we look at the stats later on.
Yeah, this is wowzers.
Yeah. Great play from him. That makes it 3-1 to Frenchclub on their map choice. Still a third of the game to go. Still plenty of time for WASP to get into this. But they're going to need to start winning and converting some of these advantages. Again, a very aggressive push onto the opposing side from Frenchclub. But WASP decide to mirror it and do exactly the same. So it's going to be a different mid-fight that we've seen so far. Lightclaw goes down very early on. No scout for the cleanup.
Deox behind.
Deox behind takes down his opposing number. Kalis, though, gets body shot and seeds backstabbed. Some frags coming in for Frenchclub, but no heals on the side of them. But Sprayer has no one to heal. And
with another 2k now. DQZ and Dima actually. So great picks by the engineer. Plus Natos taking down Sprayer. This is not looking good for WASP right now. I mean, just Natos and Deox are just literally farming them at this point.
Absolutely. I mean, it's you can see the rising confidence from Frenchclub as the game's gone on. You know, obviously Badwater, they just got absolutely slaughtered. Definitely a WASP map choice. Yes, sorry. But the Gullywash, it's been a different story, and Frenchclub looking totally in control. Not a huge advantage though this time, so they could maybe decide to slow it down, just chalk off a couple of minutes from the clock. You see Sprayer is actually still on the medigun. He's only actually not building that fast, so about 20-30% disad, went from 10 to about 30. And Chess could decide to push this, or they could just sit and wait for WASP to make mistakes.
It's 10 minutes left at this point. They would normally you would start, okay, let's slow it down a bit, guys. I don't want another mid fight basically. But yeah, like if they're gonna play like that now constantly, we will, if they keep it up like that, we have in 3 minutes or 5 minutes probably steel on our side here.
Absolutely. And we see a Demento going in underneath. Just kind of
actually
trying to go for the point. The Uber comes in. Clark goes down very on. DQZ and Dito. Kalis with the frags.
A lot of cap time by Demento actually. It looks really good for ChessClub since WASP has 2 players up. And they just realized that and we're pushing now. And this is 4-1.
Yeah, that was a wipe in the end. Sprayer stayed alive enough to get his Uber, but it's kind of fruitless when you've only got a soldier for company and everybody else on your team is dead. That is 4-1. We are win difference 5 in ETF2L, so it won't finish until one team has 5 more rounds than the other. But with 3 up and only 8 minutes to go, the pressure is on WASP. They need to start winning these mid-fights and getting forward. Otherwise, we're going to go to the final map. And again, we're going to be seeing a clash of heads. WASP decide to take their side. Big bomb from Dima. Gets in there, does a ton of damage, but doesn't get any kills. Dito goes down. Imba gets fisted there by Deox, who is just absolutely destroying at the moment. WASP do not win this mid-fight. They have to back out. Their players are very weak. ChessClub here deciding to walk in through choke. They've got the bit between their teeth. They're covered in pee, but they don't care. They're walking on to second, and they want to seal this off now, Zamp.
Definitely, and WASP just constantly bleeds in at this point. I feel like WASP says, okay, we're not gonna come back in 10 minutes in a 5 different. And for different. There's actually a contest. Sinwas and Kyle is going down here right now. And there's an Uber exchange at this point. Kresnik versus the world. Square actually goes down to Kresnik, and Kresnik's still up there fighting. Wiethoofd as well in the tracker survived Clark of the season. Yeah. Catman trying to hold the cap here, but Kresnik's still a nuisance and like behind the point actually and trying to kill people, but gets taken over by TQZ. Tracker is way too much forward with seeds.
Yeah, I mean it worked out for Wasp in the end, but they're picking up some more frags. Deox and Tracker have gone down. D-Toad is a casualty for them, but they may decide to just flood in here to mid. Only 6 minutes to go. They need to start making these brave decisions, start taking some risks. Otherwise, it is going to be curtains for them in respects to Gullywash. Nighthouse goes down to Imber. So that's probably a decent trade in his eyes, but Catman gets finished off there, as does Morg.
But Dima ready to go places actually.
Ooh, Tracker with the headshot onto Sprayer, and then they just start falling apart. No heals for them. C's at 90%.
And
it just seems that these dry pushes are not working out for Wasp, and it's not as if Chess are really taking any risks right now. They're just kind of capitalizing on these failed dry pushes, winning these DM fights, and pushing in when they get the advantage. Again, they have an advantage. I expect them to just take it into last and trying to add another round to the board.
Yeah, at this point I feel like they just want to keep the heat up for Frenchclub, so they are warm for steel then. Because this is that's a nail in the coffin at this point. It's 5 minutes. You will not recap. You will not win. I doubt it was the fact of that. Then we get a 1 round for good measure, but that's it. And Catman goes down as well. Feel like actually I have to rephrase myself, because this will be probably over. Frenchclub doesn't majorly fuck up.
I mean, they're just losing player after player. They came in here. Sinrise on the point, but Dima just again has to kind of clean up duty on the point.
Yeah, maybe Chessclub wants to play a bit longer. Tracker kills Morg again, so this will be another pretty bad positioning here for us. We're having a sniper up on last, and yours just dying. This is not great. Lightcloud bleeds in to pick up Wrath/Tracker, so yeah. They actually stabilize.
I mean, it's still possible. Even if it's Highlander, it's possible, but they need to basically push out and just get all the way to last in the next few seconds.
There's actually an Uber pop by WASP on DQZ, but they just basically make room a bit. Catman picks up a frag or two. Then they just bleed in again. Nutters picks up more, Kresnik picks Catman, and it's just back to last basically.
Yeah, there are a few players down, and actually decent cap time on the point. D-Toad getting the cap for Wasp, taking the risks, like I said, he needs to do. And Wasp getting kind of back capped here, I guess. Nuthouse is going to fight D-Toad and just finish him off there. No chance of winning that fight. Seeds has the advantage now, and this is the time where Chess, as long as they don't beef again, could add another round onto the board. Raph picking up a kill onto Dima, so there's not going to be him to save the point again, like he's done so many times. Catman goes down, Uber is used, and they don't realise they come down. Sprayer and Clark get finished off there by Season 14, Pyro of the Season, Sinrise. He's going to add Imber to his logs as well, and just trying to play on the point.
DQ's ready to take it on.
It's only 2 alive for Wasp, but they have some respawns coming in, and it's all down to Nahus, but Morg actually manages to take down Nahus. Seeds is the one fragging at the moment, picks up 2. But it's not enough for him to help his team get the point, and Wasp clinging on by their fingernails. I think at this point they know there's not enough time for them to get any more rounds on the board. Maybe one, like you said, Zamp, a consolation round, but a win on this map is out of the question. But at the moment it's just for honor. They want to keep up their momentum and not just get whitewashed here.
Exactly. I mean, Dietrich gets reflect killed by Sinrise, as you say that. Then again, they're actually capping, so the effort here. Tracker having a sideline here actually on Dima and Morg and Lightclaw Square. But yeah, I feel like Wasp is making themselves ready for Steel. After all, it's their pick, and we all know how Steel is played by Russians. It's pretty well, and it's actually going a back cap on Square, Dima on the mid, while the rest of Frenchclub is on their last at this moment. And it's actually a pop, a really aggressive one.
Yeah, they have to pop here to save some plays. Crescent was very low there.
Actually, they managed it. This is going well for Frenchclub. Seeds managed to get it.
Spray's gonna have his Uber, so they could actually just take back second here and use his Uber onto mid and get some momentum. Maybe take it back to last and end the map on a high note.
You can just crouching on the point and reflecting Rev Kalos, there we go. Really cute play.
Those are the plays we want for the clips, and Sinrise is in though.
KritzKast hiding there and actually taking down Dima? No. Actually, there's a pop again on Dima. Now it's just like DM fest. It's 1 minute left. Everybody knows who is the winner of Gullywash at this point. They're just gonna want a DM fest right now. You can see it in CeeJaey. They know. They don't mind anymore. They won that round.
Yeah, and we'll be moving on to the final map. Like we said, this is a pick ban system when it comes to maps. Teams banned some maps and picked one each. WASP picked Badwater. They won that 2-0 very, very comfortably. But Tourettes Frenchclub have responded in kind, and they're going to be taking this map fairly comfortably as well. WASP may get another round onto the board, but I don't think the result was ever in doubt after about halfway through. And the final map that wasn't picked or banned by either team was CP Steel. Like you said, Zam, that is a Russian's favourite map. Russia, Ukraine all dominated on that map a couple of years ago in the Nations Cup, and WASP made their name on it as being one of their strongest maps. They have some very strong tactics. We'll have to see how that fares against Tourettes Frenchclub, whether they're going to be psyched and ready. We do see the Uber here coming in onto last. Dima getting most of it with Dito. They're sticking at the point. KritzKast there. He's behind the point. He's going to take down a couple of people. So much time on the point. A lot of frags. Sprayer going in for the Uber Swords. It's a 4v4 right now. But Raf is going to launch himself in. DQZ just burning people alive. Raf is going to perish. And he's got Kalos for company. Some respawns come in. One of those is Deox, as we know. He can frag. And Imba is the only person alive for WASP now. GG's are called as the time is done. That is going to make it 4-1 to Tourettes Frenchclub on this second map, tying it up in this best of 3 series. And what changed there, Zamp? What was the catalyst for Frenchclub to really dominate on this map? Because they won the first round. I'm going to take it 2-0. It was 2-1. WASP looked like they may, get back into it, but in the end, Frenchclub just looked like they were in total control.
Yeah, I mean, if you go to the logs and check it a bit, like you see like Kalos, KritzKast and Wev being in the top 4, but then again you see Dima with top frags actually with 33, sorry. And yeah, then you followed up by Morg, Lightclaw. I mean, you can see that their combo of CeeJaey basically had this game in their hands.
Yeah, I mean, they just looked the more controlled, right?
Definitely. They had absolute control.
I mean, you can see that in the logs. There's a striking contrast between some of the players. Take a look at them on screen now. And we can see the top fragger of the game was, in fact, Dima of the losing team. 34 kills. He did do very well on the last points, just stopping those back caps a couple of times. And really just kind of winning the flank battle. But after that, we've got Kalos, 32 kills. KritzKast, 28. Raf, 27. Morg and Lightclaw also getting 27. But it was only Kalos and Dima managing to get over 10,000 damage. Dima actually top damaging across the game. But what I want to point out to is we've been looking at the difference between Morg and Tracker. Morg protected by his team and kind of given the support he needs to win the sniper battles, and Tracker kind of being just left to his own devices. They stepped up in this game, at least Tracker did, getting the same amount of headshots, just a few less kills, a little bit less damage. But if you want to compare Kalos and KritzKast, the combo for CeeJaey, 32 and 28 kills, over 300 damage per minute for the pair of them. Then you take a look at Catman. Catman only 17 kills, which is 11 less than KritzKast. Detoed with 13, which is 19 less than Kalos. They got decent damage, but they just weren't getting the kills. And you kind of look at the rest of the classes; they're all fairly, similar. I mean, Nuthouse, we thought he would nut on this map, being a high level 6s player, getting a lot of assists, but actually getting less frags than Lightclaw. Both Pyros faring fairly similarly. But what was the big difference between the combos, do you feel?
I feel like there was just a better coordination in Frenchclub. I felt like that. You saw you could see that they want to back out together, and they did. And if they wanted to repush, especially on their last cap, I believe, you could just see how well it worked. Like, one guy turned in, I think KritzKast started turning around, and all of the other players just turned around with him. You could see a lot of gameplay mechanics there. played well together, and I feel like this managed to give them all the kills they deserve and have.
I mean, that's the thing, yeah. I mean, if there's some cohesion in part of your team, I've played in teams where our flank has been super strong, and they're the ones who make the plays and create the openings for us to take advantage of. But if your combo can really win that fight and keep your medic alive and really win those Uber fights, that can bring you rounds. And
definitely,
yeah, it did look like Frenchclub a little bit more cohesive there, which plays well for them. Coming into this final map, CP Steel, we're going to have 3 different game modes for you today. For those of you just joining us, this is the final map of the preseason qualifiers. This is to decide who qualifies for the Premiership division in ETF2L for Season 15, coming up very, very soon. 3 spots were already taken. Elephant, Lucrosa, and Budget Toucans were confirmed. In the upper bracket final, we saw Failer Esports and Open Squad get through undefeated. In this lower bracket, we had 4 remaining teams. Only one of them can take that final spot. Final 2 we have in this lower bracket final are WASP and Tourettes Frenchclub, 2 former Prem teams, long gone by, but very, very experienced, and former Prem winners in both sides. However, only one of them can make it in. The first map was WASP's choice, Badwater, which they took 2-0. Frenchclub responded 4-1 on their map choice, which was CP Gullywash. In a different game mode, attack defense now, CP Steel. And this map was picked, nor banned, by either team, but generally favoured to be WASP, which is funny considering, Zamp, you were saying the combo for Frenchclub looked a little bit more organised there, and that bodes well coming into a map that's all about team play and organisation.
Definitely, but like you forget that Steel is another map, and team comps can differ really a lot through the maps. Some teams are just really good at Steel, so they know what to do, so they play way better together. Maybe Gullywash was like not considered as a map choice from them, so they didn't play it, didn't practice it. You know, where the focus on their map choices like Steel and Badwater. Like, forget Gullywash, we're not gonna risk winning or losing that, we're just gonna let them, and then they focus where they're on the final, you know? That's what a lot of teams do, especially in like short centered officials like that. They just play their map and like the decider. It's a smart move, if you ask me. And you could see this was didn't play bad on this map. It was just I wouldn't say unorganized, but it was less organized than Chess Club, and this pretty much gave them the point edge. It like the big plays here by Deox and everybody, of course. So, definitely, yeah. And Steel is a map that was way better received, I believe, than Gullywash from some Highlander players, especially them from Russia, from the East, or like Russians, basically. I would say like this will differ a lot now. Like I feel like Chess Club sitting here in a disadvantage.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that a lot of people dislike about Steel, and a lot of people disliked about an old map that was used, Gravel Pit. The rotation, you know, it hasn't been in the official ETF2L rotation since Season 9, or Season 9, that was the last time it was played. It's the fact that one mistake can often cascade into an unfortunate series of events that leads you to just lose the point, just lose the round. There isn't really a map where one mistake can cost everything. If you drop Uber on first on payload, you can often just kind of regroup on third and deal with it and kind of, you know, get a decent time for yourself. Same with, you know, Gullywash, for example. Okay, you might drop and lose a round, but that's not the end of the world. Whereas in Steel, if you lose it and it costs you a round, then it can be very, very difficult to counter that, because if you're the defending team, you can really just amend your play accordingly. The big thing about Steel is that the final point can be capped at any time. So you can just go in at any time and start capping it, and people use that as a distraction. And if you're really organized and get those players around, it can be pretty effective, and it can really spread people out. And I'm just wondering, kind of the Sixes contingent of Frenchclub, are they going to be super suited for a map like this? I mean, we saw them on payload. So far, they haven't looked very promising on payload. And I don't know, do you think this map's going to be too Highlandery for them?
I wouldn't say. I mean, you could see that they. I mean, the rotations are really important on attack. Everybody probably knows that. Like, you can only like go there or there. You know, like you can go A or B. If they rotate that well, I feel like they can win this as well. I don't see no possibility why Chess Club shouldn't win this map as well as WASP. If they have quick rotations, the team with the quicker rotations normally wins on this map. Or with the bigger brain.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any problem with both teams taking this side.
Well, we're just waiting for the teams to ready up here and get themselves kind of psyched up. Any player that you're going to be keeping an eye on here, I know this map is generally demos and soldiers galore, with that splash damage proving to be very, very helpful. But also, of course, Pyro as well has proved to be, you know, extremely, how shall I put this professionally, Zamp? It's been quite potent recently, since a recent update. And with the air blast, you can really control areas on this map as Pyro and not always needing to be played part of the combo anymore.
Yeah, but still, I mean, we can see Morg and Tracker. And I feel like on this map, it's Tracker's time to, you know, take the upper hat here again. Because Tracker knows this map as well. And I feel like Tracker can play here a lot on attack and defense, if he wants to. But the player I really wanna watch out here for is basically Weth, Dima, Kalis, and Wiethoofd. And DQZ, of course, and Sinwise. These 6 players I would watch out for the most, since Pyro, Demo, and Soldier, like you said already. I would say Catman as well, but then again, it's a map that we all want to see Catman playing, honestly. I'm gonna watch Catman as well, really closely. Because it's my favorite map to see Catman on, honestly.
Yeah, Catman is quite well known for his Catman plays, as they've been dubbed. We have to see how they work out on a map like this. Coming into this, I mean, it's been very sided against Chess Club, I feel, here. Do you think there's a chance for them here? Or
definitely.
You do? Who needs to play out of their skin to make sure that happens?
Kalis and Weth. Steel is a gigantic choke point after all. If the explosive play well and they do the AE strat and they break it proper with Sinrise, they can do that. They just need to hold basically a bit of AE and they get it. It's not the first time Russians been beaten on Steel. So they just basically.
I mean, yeah.
Kalis,
sorry, go on.
Like if they want to do AE, and we see Krasnik walking into the B connector without with Wiethoofd being alive, we both know that this will not work. If they play smart, pick the Pyro. If they push early, they can do it. Just need key frags at the right moment, and they are not allowed to let seeds die. What they are not doing, but still. Yeah. But I would watch out for as well as Wiethoofd. I'm scared of Wiethoofd in Steel a bit.
Wiethoofd is a player I've been impressed with been impressed with on demo recently. Yeah. He does put out that damage, and on a map that he enjoys. Dima as well, I feel, is going to be. He says to me personally he loves Steel. I mean, I don't really like the map, and we only played it once during last season. People was like, "Can we play Steel? Can we play more Steel? Can we play more Steel?" He loves Steel. So gonna be interesting to see how he squares up against Raf here. There has been, excuse me, like you said, defeats by Russians on this map. Let's not forget the 2015 semi-final of the Nations Cup, where Russia were 1 map up against the defending champion Sweden on this map, on the map that is their best map, and they were 1-0 up, but they ended up losing it 2-1 from some very, very strong strats from the Swedes. So it's going to take some similarly strong strats from Tourettes Frenchclub here to deny WASP from getting into Prem. Of course, the winner of this game will take that final spot. A point has gone down to WASP in the blue. It's pretty much given away for free because it's not really easy to defend, so teams just avoid it. B is the point to defend, or E, as it does look like WASP are going for an AE push here.
Yeah, like as always, every Russian team goes AE, and at this point in the A, everybody copies that strat. I mean, you wouldn't be stupid to rush down AE. If it works, it's great. And there's an early pop by Seeds, and this is not looking good since Sinwise, not by Seeds, by Sprayer. Sinwise is just there to deny this Uber. This is 1 nail in the coffin, kinda. You have not Uber and sitting there.
Yeah, they've managed to trade it. Tracker goes down, Raf goes down, so it's a lot of denial out of the way. But nobody's getting on the point. But Nuthouse and Kalis, yeah, just taken out of the picture there. Nobody on the point though. Finally, Lightclaw is trying to get on there. So much pressure is being put onto this BC connector. Dima is there, coming in from C-side. D-Toad coming in from under. Sprayer and DQZ are just controlling the main door. Nuthouse on, sorry, not Nuthouse, Lightclaw on the point. Catman watching the opposite spawn door. This is just a strategy that has been practiced and perfected over time by these players, and yeah, it's working out well for them as Frenchclub don't look like they can block it.
Depends if Tracker manages to pick. There's the detour pick actually. This is a huge piece. Sindo's had enough of that detour today, and there's actually the level 3 sentry now to block it, and is really well positioned there. So Lightclaw just have a minimum of capping there, and DKZ actually up here, and Sindo's died, so they can use it and kill the sentry. Sad but true. There's actually Kalis and Nato still alive, and they try to deny that point still.
Yeah, some stickies on the point. Yeah, Lightclaw's trying to get it.
Lightclaw doing an amazing job here, and Detour back in position here. Picks out Kalis, almost seats here. The Tracker just standing there, trying to get Lightclaw. They know who to pick right now. And they don't want to pick anyone else at this.
Yeah, they can keep certain players alive. They can give them heals. But as saying that, Imba comes in and shanks Seeds. And there's only 3 alive for Frenchclub right now. And DQZ's managed to launch himself on there using his cheeky flare gun there. Or is he running the flare gun? Or is he just... No, he's actually just power jacked up to it there. 241. Fairly fast time.
A great time. It's a great time on AE.
It's a great time. I mean, to put it into perspective, you know, you can cap E at any time, but to do that, you need to go through one way, and it's very easy for the defending team to kind of block E and block B at the same time. They can rotate around and get things done. Every time you cap the point as the attacking team, once you've capped A, you get faster spawns. You cap B, you get faster spawns. It makes it much easier. Doors open for you while doors close for the defending team. Once you've capped C, there's actually bridges that open up to the final point. And it's just working out really, really well the more points you cap. So with only the A point capped, it takes a long time for the cap to go down. You've not got that much access. And it's very, very difficult. So you have to be extremely precise. WASP did that to perfection. 241 is very, very fast. And it's going to be very difficult for Frenchclub to get back into that. It does look like, though, we're having technical issues with the servers again. So to save time of the players and us, and of course you, the viewers, you don't want to be here watching a million server changes while we try to find that, just trying to find the one. We're going to have to call the cast there, I'm afraid. And we'll be back tomorrow with some RGL action. If you want to watch some 7v7 Prolander, that's to watch. But Zamparonie, like, unfortunately not going to be able to watch the last few rounds of this game. Prediction after that, after seeing that first attacking phase, who do you think is going to seal it out?
It will be a 2-1 for WASP, I'd say. Chess Club will take one round.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's a brave assumption based on what we've just seen. I have to say. I mean, you believe. You got some belief. That's nice. That's nice. Well, just to reiterate, the winner of this game will be going in and taking that final Prem spot. The loser will be playing in one of the high-tier divisions. But we won't be able to bring the action because of some technical difficulties. But thank you for watching, guys. Like I said, tomorrow we'll be back. RGL, Sigafu 7v7 Prolander is coming to Europe tomorrow. And there is a one-day cup. If you guys are interested in watching that, come and check it out on KritzKast. I will be casting with Sigafu for the grand final. So if you want to see us talking about some 2 less players on each team than you've seen today, that is where you will need to be. Also, a nice announcement about another type of thing coming up in the future. We do have a LAN coming in just over a week. So if you want to watch some more Highlander, 9v9, there's of course UGC Platinum Playoffs happening on the Mondays. Keep an eye out for those streams. There will be ETF2L Season 15 beginning. We'll be covering the Premiership action of the teams as they begin from week 1. And towards the end of March, beginning of April, there will be the Copenhagen Games. There is a 6v6 tournament and a Highlander tournament. €3,000 prize pool for the Highlander tournament alone. We'll be covering it with KritzKast. We've got some great talents such as Chando and Jay Kawati and of course Wiethoofd traveling over there to bring you on the set casts. But finally, a non-competitive aspect. There is actually a premiere of a charity stream that many of you have probably heard of already. Hugs TF are back, and they'll be bringing the 2018 version. For those of you who don't know, go and check out the website. Hugs TF have done amazing things the past few years in bringing some entertaining charity streams to the TF2 community, and of course raising a ton of money for charity as well, and bringing a real smile to the faces of the people who participate. From the 21st and the 22nd of April, they'll be doing a live 24-hour stream with TF2 games and some few super secret show matches. Can't reveal any details. If you want to find out who is playing in those, there's some big names. But if you want to find out who exactly is playing, you'll have to turn up on the 21st and the 22nd to find out what is going on. They're our website, and they raise money for the Special Effect. It's a charity that helps disabled children to play video games. Some of us aren't able to play video games like the rest of us, and they help those guys out. And I'm going to be there. I'm actually going to be there. So if you want to see me, that's another incentive for you. And if you guys need just one more incentive, there's going to be medals, okay? There has been medals for many charity streams. And if you want another thing for your TF2 backpack, go and check that out and get some lovely donations in. There's going to be some huge names there. Kado, Cadus, News, Drac, Dr. Phil, some noob called CeeJaey, Aggro of KritzKast. It's going to be everybody you know and love, and they're going to be there. So please check that out, guys. Thank you for watching the cast today. Thank you, Zamparonie, for casting with me. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
Losing my voice, man. Losing my voice. And also Wiethoofd for taking time out of his very busy schedule. I know he was very busy today, but did manage to do production for today's game. So thank you very much, dude. And we'll see you tomorrow for some 7v7. Good night.